Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ironworks MTG, and today we're doing a replay of one of our games from a previous league. I believe we went 3-2 in the league. I haven't posted in a while, so I just wanted to post something, and this was my most interesting matchup. It's against Urza's Kitchen, Hell's Kitchen, whatever you'd like to call it. So yeah, I wanted to go through this game because I thought it was the most interesting one, and we had a few non-games that we won, non-games that we lost, and I don't think it was worth recording the entire league, so we're just gonna do this one match just for funsies, and looks like we've won die roll, and we're gonna be on the play. Alright, so this hand's a little clunky, but it's functional, and our opponent has not revealed a companion. We do decide to keep it. We've got something to do on turn 1, and hopefully we just hit that land on turn 3, and then this hand has a lot of grinding power if we do. So, we Inquisition first to hopefully stave off some early progressions, and we see that we are against Urza's Kitchen. So our two options here are the Underworld Cookbook and Azmarana Mardica Tina Koldakar. So we do decide to take Azmarana Mardica Tina Koldakar, as it grabs the cookbook anyway. And we will pass back. Here, let's put our revealed cards here. Okay, opponent's going to play a Dark Silk Shores. They play their Underworld Cookbook and pass back. Back to our turn. We draw a Blooming Marsh, which is excellent. Been nice to hit another red source, but hey, here we are. Double K command, also notably very good in this matchup. Opponent plays a Hollow Fountain that they drew and passes back, and we hit our fetch line, which is gonna be nice. We get to hit our we'll be able to cast our Bloodbraid Elf and also our Kolaghan's command. Here we decide to just play this Nurturing Peatland and hold up this K command, deal with this Underworld Cookbook before he can gain any value off it. So we hit that Cookbook, he discards a Flooded Strand we knew about. And opponent draws an Urza Saga, plays a Mirsh's Bauble and passes the turn. So Urza Saga, obviously a very powerful effect, and here I believe, yeah, we just go for this Bloodbraid Elf. There's a chance that we whiff, hit a removal spell, but now at this point I just want to get some pressure down, but we do not whiff. We get Liliana the Veil, which is pretty solid. Nice Cascade here, that or Tarmogoyf, both very good. Just any way to apply pressure. And in comes the Elf. We pass back. I think that was our opponent trying to activate the Saga, but it was not on Chapter 2 yet, but now it is. We play Polluted Delta, we know about Urza, which is likely coming down now, and it does. But our K command is going to be pretty good against it. So we get to take this last card out of his hand, kill the Construct, down tick on the Urza, you know, Jund stuff. Swing for 3 with the Bloodbraid Elf, and pass back. And yeah, I really wanted to showcase this game because we can see Boomer Jund just like we're playing against some powerful cards, right? Urza Saga, Urza, some of these newer MH2 inclusions that have really changed Modern forever, and we're able to keep up with it on the good old Bloodbraid Elf and Liliana the Veil. So opponent drew the Oval Chase Daredevil, which is pretty solid. It's going to let him make food every turn. If you don't know how this interaction works, basically they discard the Daredevil, it makes a food, and the Daredevil has a clause that says they can put the Daredevil back in hand whenever an artifact enters the battlefield. So here we've drawn Ragavan. I believe I down tick here. Yeah, I just want Ragavan to be able to get in. We do down tick. We cast Ragavan, and we've cleared the way. So a couple reasons to do this. Ragavan getting in will potentially gain us some value. We've got a lot of mana, so we'll be able to cast most of their spells. And I want to apply pressure. Our opponent's life total is low, and we want to be able to do something before they top deck something decent. So Here, we hit a Springleaf Drum. I figure why not. Let's play it. And cast our Seasoned Pyromancer, and boom! Absolute fire. Bloodbraid and Liliana the Veil. Very solid. See that dash trigger. Put Ragavan back in hand. Pass back. Okay, our opponent does the Daredevil thing. And they found Azmoran and Martika Dice Tina Koldakar. So they're going to cast that. Grab another Underworld Cookbook. Cast the Cookbook, pass back. Alright, we shock in. We're planning to use... Okay, so sorry. I should explain my exact thought process here. I want to be able to cast all of my spells, deal with this Azmoran and Martika Dice Tina Koldakar in the best possible way. So I'm going to Edict here. That will prompt my opponent to destroy one of my 2 creatures, at which time I can use the Springleaf Drum to tap the creature to make mana to be able to cast our Bloodbraid Elf. So that's the plan. It does get punished by Bloodbraid Elf cascading into removal, but I think that this is the best way to do it, just giving our opponent the least possible amount of information. So he does sack the foods to kill the Bloodbraid Elf. That's fine. He loses the Asmo, and those 2 foods represent some life that can help him crawl back in. So we use our Springleaf Drum to cast our Bloodbraid Elf off our Bloodbraid Elf. Springleaf Jund. Heck yes. And, of course, we hit the Terminate, which punishes us a little bit, but anyway you slice it, like, it works out the same. I don't think I would be too keen on having the Lily uptick our Ragavan away anyway. So we get in for 5. Our opponent's going to crack this food to bolster their life a bit. They go Cookbook, Daredevil. They do the thing again. A couple food, and they scoop. I think that it was a little... Like, our opponent's at virtual 10. They have, like, another turn to kind of come back, but I don't know. Anyway, they scoop, and go into the next game. Alright guys, here we are for game 2 on the draw, and Lily did look pretty good in that matchup, but we trimmed back a couple of them. Just not so great if he has a lot of constructs and play one of those types of progressions. And we cut a couple Inquisitions. We have some pretty good stuff to bring in. We brought in 3 Ancient Grudge, 2 Nihil Spellbomb, and here we have a 1-lander on the draw, and I had to think about this one for a while. I am on 22 lands, so this is a little greedy, but we've got our sideboard cards. We've got Nihil Spellbomb, we've got Ancient Grudge. Fatal Push can kill an early Azmoran and Martika Dice Tina Koldakar. And Ragavan, if it gets to connect, this hand looks great. So we keep it on the draw, knowing that we get an extra card. Our opponent goes Watergrave into Pithing Needle, and they're going to name Liliana the Veil, that card that we trimmed 2 copies of, so that's fine with me. Here we just go Blackcleave Cliffs into Ragavan and pass the turn. Really hoping we get to untap with it. Hoping that our decision gets rewarded. But unfortunately, we do get punished. So our opponent goes Prismatic Ending into Cookbook. Very good progression from our opponent. And we do miss our land drop. Here I play a Spellbomb, hoping we are not forced into a situation where we have to cycle the Spellbomb to draw a land, but our opponent plays Urza Saga, so you can see their progression is very, very powerful. I mean, the Pithing Needle is kind of meh, but it could come up. Then turn 2, kill my Ragavan, Cookbook into Urza Saga. Pretty strong stuff we see here. They pass back. We unfortunately missed the land drop again, so I'm just forced into a situation where I need to hit this land drop. I'm just going to fall behind if I don't. We draw the Blood Crypt, thank goodness. Play the Blood Crypt, pass the turn. And now I do shock it in because anything that they play I'm just going to spend my mana on. We're so tight on mana that we're not going to be able to deploy all these cards, so really we're just killing anything on site, trying to get into a position where we can become stable. Here we see Urza. It's going to make a construct. We're going to eat it with a lightning bolt. So we shock in the Overgrown Tomb. There's a couple different things we could do here, but I would like to get that Urza off the table before it does something silly. So we escape Kroxa, get in 3 damage, and push. I don't think anything he gets off the top, I imagine he's going to cast anyway, so that Kroxa was not likely to steal a card. And maybe the earlier we can put it in, maybe the earlier we can escape it and start clocking our opponent. So, opponent's doing some cool stuff over there. They're going to make a construct. They're going to get a free card. They decide to grab Springleaf Drum. And they're going to pass back with this construct. We draw a K command, which is pretty good. Now, we're not doing very much in the way of applying pressure, but we have hit our land drops a little late, but still on time. And our sideboard cards here, shining through, are going to stave off the constructs. And he's getting full value off these Urza Sagas. There's another cookbook, and we see a Thought Monitor, which is going to draw them 2, which is exactly what they needed. Here I take the opportunity. There's a few different things I could have done, but I think this is a good window to just kill creatures, take pressure off the board, right? So I do it in response to the trigger, because why not? We kill the Thought Monitor and construct, pass back. Here I decide to take out the cookbooks. It's going to shrink the construct, and there's a lot of value to be gained off just making a bunch of food, so try to take those off the table before he finds that Daredevil or something. This deck very much lives and dies by the amount of permanents it could put on the board. So our opponent plays another Thought Monitor. Now that's 2 Sagas, 2 Thought Monitors that we're fighting through. He's going to whack us for 4. And passes back. Here I just, again, decide I'm just going to kill stuff. I'm going to take out these cards with the Ancient Grudge. So cast Teferi, that's going to force action from us now. And I'm just going after the creatures. He's going to float a mana. There's Teferi. He down ticks to draw, and we draw Verdant Catacombs. We could Bloodbraid Elf, take out the Teferi, but then we don't get the Cascade. Here I decide I'm just going to slime 2 Tarmogoyfs. And it turns out that it is the wrong decision, because he has not just 1, but 2 Fatal Push. Very unfortunate. If we had cast the Bloodbraid Elf, we would have got no Cascade value. Would have at least got to take the Teferi off the board, because he would not have had Revolt to kill the Bloodbraid Elf. Anyway, opponent plays a 3rd Thought Monitor into a 3rd Urza Saga. Really not giving us an easy time. We've spent all of our artifact destruction, but we draw another Ancient Grudge. Now, here, sorry, I guess I should talk about this, because we do have the option of Bloodbraid Elf. We could Ancient Grudge to take this Thought Monitor out of play that's gaining them life. But this Teferi is on 2, so it cannot yet bounce the Kroxa. So I decide I'm going to escape this Kroxa while the Teferi cannot deal with it, and then kill the blocker the next turn. So Kroxa, big game. Our opponent has been taking some damage here and there. So this Kroxa is going to get to kind of come out of nowhere and win this game for us, potentially. Our opponent attacks us for 3. You're going to gain some life, and here they make a construct, attach the Shadow Spear to try to stave off the Kroxa, but he is unaware of this Ancient Grudge. So here I decided to attack the Teferi since this isn't a lethal attack anyway. And I also cast a Terminate now to play around Metallic Rebuke. Something to think about. I've got this Ancient Grudge in the back to take out one more construct. He does make the construct. He's going to put the Shadow Spear on. Oh no, sorry, pardon. He draws an Urza. So this is obviously quite strong. Now he's got 2 7/7s and an Urza. So our opponent has played 3 Thought Monitors, 3 Sagas, and 2 Urzas, I believe. No, just 1 Urza. Played an Urza game before. So he's going to spin on Urza. He cannot play the Saga, and see what Bloodbraid Elf does for us. Finds us a Seasoned Pyromancer. Now this was a bit of a punt here. Well, I wouldn't say punt, but not leaving up this Blackcleave Cliffs instead of the Stomping Ground. Slight mistake. In case we had drawn Fatal Push, we would have been able to kill one of these constructs. Anyway, what we do here is we serve with the Kroxa because he's going to be forced to block. When he blocks with a construct, we kill the other construct with the Ancient Grudge. So that's the plan, which will lower the number of artifacts he has, forcing a trade, taking these constructs off the board, which is fine at this point because we're a little bit wider and very close to escaping the Kroxa again. So he's going to spin on Urza. He only finds Polluted Delta. He's going to spin on Urza again, just desperately looking for something, and he just finds another Plains, and we see a concession from the opponent. Now, what I want to highlight about this match is that even with all the new tech that our opponents are playing, we are able to keep up in this post-Horizons 2 world. I mean, granted, we got one of the best cards printed in the set, Ragavan, but there's some very powerful stuff, and Bloodbraid Elf and Liliana can still pull some weight. And so I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope that you can tolerate how many times I say like an idiot. But yeah, if you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing to the channel, hit that like button, all those things that people are supposed to say at the end of YouTube videos, and have a very nice evening, morning, wherever you may be.